So, good afternoon. It's Monday. I missed the last 2 weeks with you guys, so I apologize. I'm actually going live on Instagram right now too. Let's get us together. How have y'all been doing? How have you been doing? If you're just coming in, please, please, please like, share, tag a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend. We want to get some folks in here for a healthy dialogue today. I feel like it's been a while, so I want to make sure that we're checking in and we're able to have some productive conversation today. While y'all are coming in, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, The Barefoot Therapist. I have all my past lives there. Also, if you haven't got my workbooks, make sure you get those on the mahoganyproject.com. Subscribe there. We'll have some really dope things coming out by the end of this year. And again, tag a friend, support this beautiful Black business. We're working and we're working and we're working. All right. So today I'm excited about this conversation, you guys, like really excited. Talking about baby mamas and baby daddies. I really I love the idea of like those relationships. I think they're really interesting for several reasons. And I also think it's interesting that I specifically hear the whole concept of baby mama and baby daddy mostly in the Black community. I hear other communities referring to the parents of their children as the father and mother, but I think there's a connotation that comes with this whole baby mama, baby daddy thing. And I think that there's an expectation of behavior that comes along with that, language using baby mama or baby daddy. Like there's a behavior expected to come with that, right? Now I will say this. I've never identified as anyone's baby mama. I've only I have one biological child in my relationship with my husband. After we got married, and my husband has a biological child that I consider my son, with his mother, that was years prior to us meeting. And again, the whole concept of baby mama, baby daddy. So I want to back up a little bit. I don't see anything wrong with having children outside of the having a marriage, right? I don't see anything. It is what it is, right? I think sometimes though, the way that the understanding about what those relationships are supposed to be are not clear with the two people involved, right? So for example, let's say you have two people that are in a relationship, maybe they're boyfriend and girlfriend, or they're hanging out, doing their thing, and she ends up getting pregnant. They have a child. They decide to no longer be together. What I find is that a lot of those relationship issues were not resolved and impact the relationship they both have with each other and the one that they're able to have as co-parents with their children. The whole concept of baby mama, baby daddy, it almost infers like some kind of attachment or responsibility there. And, once you're no longer with said person, your responsibility is to your children. It is also your responsibility to communicate and be an effective co-parent. I think those lines, I've seen those lines, I've watched those lines, I've experienced those lines, and boundaries be sometimes really unclear and not always as helpful in being productive in that kind of relationship. What does that mean? I think back to like, okay, well, what is a baby mama? What is a baby daddy? Like, okay, yes, obviously you're the mother or father of a child. then what? Like, how many folks talk about child support before they talk about, okay, we're pregnant. What are we going to do if we break up? Do you think that people have these conversations when they're pregnant? Okay, if this relationship doesn't work out, what do we want to do about? Because this whole idea, even around child support, right? I've seen where men find it offensive to be put on child support, right? But I've also been on the other side of it where I've seen women be very confrontational and uncooperative when it comes to compromising and negotiating. And the same with men being, not willing to compromise and negotiate when it comes to compromising and working together as co-parents. I've seen where men and women will say, no, I don't want to be put on child support. I want you to work with me. Let's try to figure this out. But then I'm not willing to compromise anything. And I want to be clear that at that point, that person has no obligation to you to do anything for you as an individual, but supporting both of you working together as parents of this child. I think that may get very confused. As a parent, I still have as a parent, I still have accountability and responsibility to my child. And that just doesn't defer to my baby mama or baby daddy or the father of my child or mother of my child. I have accountability in that. Whether I choose to do it just financially or not, financially, I am obligated, right? Now, do I see that there's anything wrong with putting someone, and I say someone because it's not just, let's be clear, there's not just men on child support. There's women too. I'll say that again. There's not just men on child support. There are women also on child support. Now, would I imagine statistically majority men are on child support? Of course, right? I get that. But are there women on child support too? Yes. I think that there's a couple of things that happen with child support, right? When folks can't come to some kind of agreement or some kind of consistent engagement or some kind of consistent negotiation where, okay, I'm just going to make something up. Let's say they say, okay, well, your child support, can we agree that child support will be $350, $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month? Okay. Is this person going to pay the child support weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? Are they going to pay on time? Do you have to beg, plead, and negotiate to get it done? Are they wanting you so they'll try to lure you in with child support? All of these things that impact the child being able to be taken care of in the way that they need to be cared for. Now, do I believe that child support is 100% for the child? Yes. But the child also needs lights. The child also needs food. And the child also needs gas and et cetera, hot water, backpacks and after school activities and tutoring and clothes and shoes and haircuts and hair appointments and doctor's appointments and medicine and vitamins and all those things are the things that are involved in taking care of a child, right? So you have this large spectrum of responsibilities attached to this child. Okay. So is the understanding that, let's be clear, child support does not always cover everything that needs to be covered. However, and again, this is just my own perspective. I think that both parents should be expected to provide financially for the child. That is just my own personal perspective. Now, the person who primarily has the child, let's say they have primary custody of the child, and they're spending most of their time, most of their money taking care of this child. How do you balance all that out? Because I want to be clear too. Child support does not mean that this person has to participate as an active parent. That just means that they're financially responsible. I want to say this again, right? Because court orders can't make someone participate in their child's life. That just means they have rights to have some organized and structured time with their child. Hear me when I say, and again, I'm not telling y'all from just being in my experience as a therapist, I'm telling you guys in my experience in being in that process, and my husband and I working through that process. All the court order will say is that whoever the primary parent is has to make space for organized structure, provide room for at this day, this time, or these times, weekends from this to this, that they have to have the opportunity to see their child at this time. That does not mean that the other parent, the non-custodial, non-primary parent, has to participate, right? So I think the thing is this. When you can't make somebody be a parent that doesn't want to be a parent or doesn't want to be involved in the way that you think they should be involved, that's one. Two, just because you put them on child support, please believe that that doesn't mean that they're going to take an active role in their child's life. There's a lot of parents that pay child support and don't see their kids. Okay? Three, having a clear idea about what the arrangement is going to be and be willing to negotiate and compromise. Because when two people are no longer together, those obligatory feelings that you had before, oh, I want to do this, or not even just obligatory, excuse me, these feelings that you had in your desire to do something or meet this person halfway in this way, that's not going to be there anymore, right? It's just not, especially if, let's say y'all was a one-night stand or y'all was a situationship and you decide to move forward and have a child with this person. Be clear about who you're having a child with. I think sometimes we get really confused, like this person wasn't who they always were before we decided to have children with them. And I'm specifically speaking to, I'm not going to say specifically speaking to, I think this goes both ways. But it's like, oh, I want to have a child, or I want to be with you, so I'm going to have a child, or I think we're good. Y'all, be clear that once you make that decision and you move forward with having a child with this person, that is a lifelong relationship. This child is going to be going to school and they're going to want their parents with the S at their activities, especially if the other parent wants to be an active parent, right? You don't know that. And things change. But be clear about their track record. Look at the evidence that you already have. You know, they're not obligated to be or support you as a person, but trying to work together as a co-parenting team is very different. You know, would you want this parent or this person to be a parent to your child if y'all are not together? You know, are they reckless just in general? Are they interested in having children? Are they invested in taking care of themselves financially? Will they be invested in taking care of the kid financially? Like all of these things, when you're thinking about having a child with someone, how that impacts this whole baby mama, baby daddy status. You know, like it's interesting because the one thing first of all, I grew up in a household with two parents. My parents got divorced when I was in middle school. But interestingly enough, my dad ended up moving not even 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes from my mom's house. And he picked us up. She dropped us off. He picked us up. We spent time over there so much. I didn't feel like I ever missed anything. Was it different than having a two-parent household? Yes. But now that I think about it, my parents never ever referred to each other as baby mama or baby daddy. And I think psychologically, you know, when my mom always referred to my dad as your father this, your father that is your, like, it's a different kind of I think maybe this is just my interpretation. I think it provides a different level of perspective, respect, and relationship. It's been my father referring to my mom as my mother or your mom, you know, not my baby mama. And again, do I think that that's impacted by the fact that they were married? Yes, but I don't believe that it should be different. You know, even if they weren't married, that's the mother of my child, that's the father of my child. I think it just services a different level of respect and accountability specifically to the children, you know, whether we like the other person or not. um I also think that it creates a respectful dynamic between the parties involved. You know, it's just interesting because I think, do I think it's anything wrong with the whole language of baby mama, baby daddy? No. I just think that it comes with a lot of baggage. And I already have this very specific feeling around, you know, the breakdown of the Black family and how those terms absolutely connect with, you know, nuances that the government has created to keep Black families apart. That is just my own assessment of things. I also believe that it's encouraged for women to be single mothers. It's encouraged for Black women specifically to live as single mothers, and they offer incentives to do so. And this whole concept of like, oh, you can live in public housing, you just can't have a father involved. All of these things that I think have contributed or influenced or impacted the whole language around baby mama, baby daddy. Do I think that it's used loosely and socially and casually? Of course it is, right? And comedically, right? But I also think that there are some other nuances that need to be accounted for in that. If I'm a baby mama or a baby daddy, is that how I want to be referred? What do I think or want? What do I think that that says to my children? Does that encompass who I am in this role as a parent to my child? And in that, what is this relationship I have with the father or mother of my child? And how does that look long term? I also think sometimes when we use language, our behavior encompasses or embraces that language and we behave accordingly. Again, some of my own perspectives on that. What do you guys think? What is there anything problematic with the whole notion of baby mama, baby daddy? Are y'all good? Like, are you good with being referred to as a baby mama or baby daddy? And if so, why or why not? Like, I would never, I'll start with myself. I would never want to be referred to as a baby mama. That is just my personal preference. I think that motherhood is so much bigger than being a baby mama, right? I think, you know, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if you guys have heard Brandy's song Baby Mama, and I love the way that she expressed herself there, because I do think that baby mama and baby daddy are heavy in our community. And I love the way that she expounded on the role of a baby mama. Let's be clear. I think that, you know, once, of course, obviously, once you're a baby mama, baby daddy, it's also a term of single parenthood, right? We're separate. You're raising our child in a separate space from me. And single parenthood is really challenging. I've watched my parents do it after they got divorced. And, you know, my father had someone, but we were not. And again, my parents had already had 3 girls. So raising 3 girls, I watched my mom raise 3 girls and watched my dad raise 3 girls separate from each other. And it was very difficult. I remember going back and asking my mom, now that I am a parent to 2 kids, and I was like, you know, how were you able to pull this off? How did you and dad, when y'all were together and you did have 2 incomes, how were y'all able to pull all of this off? All of us were in basketball, karate, soccer, dance. I didn't miss a beat of anything. We grew up in Baldwin Hills. We moved from 74th and Normandy to Baldwin Hills. We didn't miss a beat. You know, we always had heavy Christmases with gifts spread all over the room, and our parents showed up to. My dad was my coach for a lot of my basketball years. We did drill team, and I did step, and I was on the dance team. And were you able to afford all this? How were you able to divide your time and show up for us? How were you able to be patient and calm? Not now, not that I didn't give my fair share of spankings and everything else, and but I will give kudos where kudos is due. You know, my parents were able to show up, and even to the parents that either choose not to or are unable to due to being incarcerated, they don't have the skills, etc. Being a parent is really challenging just in itself, even when you have a partner. So when you don't, like, my hat goes off to you. You know, I've spoken to my husband about my son's mother and her working or busting her tail just to provide what she does for our son. You know, that's a lot. You know, and she's doing it. She has a partner, but still, it's really hard. uh, and then co-parenting has its own struggles, right? You are now have to have a working relationship with someone that you may not even get along with. Y'all may not even like each other, vibe with each other anymore. Y'all may have had a lot of challenging experiences together. We're not going to even include like cheating or abuse or anything like that. You know, extended family, we can't even get into, we don't even have time to get into that extended family, but that will be a topic. It's so many outer lying considerations. And I think, again, maybe just in my mind, baby mama, baby daddy doesn't account for that. There's something about the whole language around mother and father that is really valuable to me. Now, will people say, well, you were, you know, a biological father, but you weren't a dad, or you were a biological mother, mom, but you weren't a mother, or, you know, I know that people like to make the differentiations depending on their perceived investment that the person has made with the child, whether it be time, money, responsibility, accountability, etc., emotional investment and involvement, physical investment and involvement. I know that people like to play with those terms depending on how involved the other person was in raising and providing for the child. So we know that that exists. I just wonder for you guys, is there a difference between a baby mama and a mother? Is there a difference between a baby daddy and a father? Um, do I absolutely know that there are folks that are just biological providers? Like you just provided the sperm or the egg, and you have, you know, you had the child, but after that point you weren't invested in the way that maybe the child needed 100%. Does that then label them as that? You know, because I've socially, I hear baby mama or baby daddy used interchangeably. Also, I hear it used in various scenarios of involvement or investment. So I just wondered that. I wondered what y'all thought about that. I think that whole conversation is very interesting about baby mama, baby daddy. But do y'all have any comments, questions? I'm gonna put a question in the chat. What do you think are the biggest barriers? In this in the chat with co-parenting or being a baby mama or baby daddy? Anyone? What do you think are the biggest barriers? And how do you handle or manage those barriers? Are you co-parenting? Are you considered a baby mama or a baby daddy? Like what does that look like? And are those terms offensive to you? Like, are you cool with being called a baby mama, baby daddy? Like, what does that look like? I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that there's any need to for me. I wouldn't necessarily be offended. I just don't consider that my role. I just don't. Now, do I think that it's also considered different when the level of investment in the relationship? Of course, there are levels. If this was just a situationship or a one night stand, or you were dating, or were you married, or were you a side chick or a side guy or something like that, does that change your label? Does that change your label? But that still doesn't change that you're a mother or a father, right? I guess maybe that's just my thought. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Let me know. Maybe I could be, y'all. Like I said, you could always correct me. Maybe this is wrong, but just my personal perspective. And as we're like talking about this, don't forget, season 2 is coming out very soon. I'm almost done with season 2. Take This Shit Personal podcast. So make sure you get to that on all streaming platforms. But anyways, what is your answer to this question? What do you think are the biggest barriers in co-parenting or being a baby mama or baby daddy? Is that something you even want to be referred to as? Like, or you're like, nah, I'm good, son. Like, I'm good. I don't need to be referred to as a baby mama or a baby daddy. Or, yeah, it's cool. It's real casual to me. It's not a big deal. I don't care either way. Like, what are your takes on that? Because I think language can be really, really like life-changing. I think language is really important because it also is how we internalize things. So I do think it's like really, really, really important. But again, that's also in my work. In my work, language means everything. This is one of the vehicles to change that I use in counseling, is language, and how language impacts how we see the world. Our stories impact how we see the world and experience the world. I would definitely call myself a narrative therapist, but I am very eccentric. But narrative is my favorite. Narrative is the space I like because I think there's so much flexibility in narrative. You get to let people create their stories of themselves. You let people create their own realities instead of the ones that they feel like they've been given and they have to carry. Man, it's life-changing stuff. But what do y'all think? What are your perspectives of baby mamas and baby daddies? How does that impact how we perceive someone? Like, let's say we're on the outside looking in. Let's say you get with this new person and they say, oh yeah, that's just my baby mama or baby daddy. Like, what is your initial thought? Because for me, it's initially ratchet. Like, baby mama, baby daddy gives me very ratchet. Like, the whole term. Oh, it's not like you're saying, oh yeah, this is the mother of my child. This is so-and-so's mom. This is so-and-so's dad. Yeah, that's my baby mama, or that's my baby daddy. That's even the tone that I kind of attach it to. That's my baby mama. That's just my baby daddy. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally making this shit up, but y'all tell me if I am. Correct me. Do you want to be referred to as a baby mama or a baby daddy? And would you want your kid to be referred to as a baby mama or a baby daddy? Is that something you would care about? Is that something that you would be invested in enough to say something about? Maybe not. Maybe these terms just, they're not as deep as I'm making it today. But I think it's really interesting. So if y'all don't have any more comments, concerns, I appreciate y'all tuning in with me today. I absolutely value you and love you so much. Oh, I have a surprise for you. I have a sneak peek at my baby. A sneak peek at my baby. She'll be coming to you soon. Coming to you soon. Hardcover fire. Okay, hardcover fire. Clearly I'm still making my notes, but she will be coming to you very soon. Very soon. I'll be posting my release date soon. I still have some edits to make because I'm telling y'all this is my second draft. But tell me what you guys think, the hardcover or the soft cover. This is a soft cover. Beautiful on the inside, beautiful. Hardcover or soft cover. I've heard people tell me both. Some prefer the hardcover, some prefer the soft cover. But tell me what you guys think. If not, make sure you like and subscribe. Tag a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend. Share. Make sure you pre-order my book. Pre-order to journal. Keeping my shit together journal. Make sure you pre-order yours. Pre-order yours for a friend or a sibling. Christmas is coming up. Give these folks some healing for Christmas. Yeah, I mean. Check out my YouTube channel, The Barefoot Therapist. I have some dope ass interviews coming out for y'all soon. Still got a lot of editing to do on them, but they will be coming out to you soon. And my podcast. Excuse me. Excuse me. Take this shit personal. Check it in with you. Peace.